Earlier this year, I took a storytelling course. It was 6 weeks, and the idea was that you understand the importance of telling really good stories and how it could be used to inspire. I'm going to share my final presentation story with you today. If you want to figure out what to do with your life, they say you should ask your 7-year-old self, the version of you before the world got in and formed your opinions. Well, I've asked my 7-year-old self. I've asked her quite a lot. She's given me the silent treatment. I'm getting nothing back. When I was 11, I wanted to be a lawyer because I watched Ally McBeal. Soon after that, I wanted to be a wedding planner because I watched the Jennifer Lopez movie and fell in love with it. But at 13, I landed on medicine. I did one science experiment at school and I asked around, what could you do if you enjoy science? And everyone said, be a doctor. And I stuck with it. The underlying theme through all of it was I had to work hard, go to school, get a good job. Those were the rules that my dad imprinted on me growing up. And I don't blame him. He's a first-generation Nigerian and he was raising 5 daughters in London. So our only way to be successful was to work hard, go to school and get a good job. So I carry that with me. When I was 17, I decided what type of doctor I wanted to be. And at that point, my inspiration was a character on Grey's Anatomy. I've mentioned this before. And she was an obstetrics and gynecology doctor. And for me, she just looked like a superhero. She was a superwoman for women. What's better than that? So at 17, I plotted my life story. I was going to go to med school. I was going to do my F1, F2, and then I was going to get onto obstetrics and gynecology training program. This 20-year plan was mapped out because I remembered the theme. You work hard, you go to school, and you get a good job. And for 18 years, I followed the rule. First couple of years in medicine, I was a bit like, oh, not sure this is for me, but I persevered through. And although I got whispers through the years, I didn't really take notice until my body decided to scream. So after one night shift, not particularly busy, a few cesarean sections, even some time to get some rest, I woke up with a pain in my jaw. And I was like, oh, that's quite odd, and wasn't sure what it was. Went home, took some paracetamol, slept it off, expecting that when I woke that the pain would be gone. It didn't. I mentioned it to my husband and he looked at me and said, oh, that sounds like you've got TMJ pain, temporal mandibular joint pain. Joint just at the back there that can sometimes flare up if you're stressed, you're grinding your teeth, clenching your jaw during the day. And I ignored him because it couldn't be that. For a week, 2 weeks, the pain was there. I went to the dentist and I just remember laying on the dental chair whilst this dentist confirmed to me that in fact it was TMJ pain. This was stress induced. He gave me a leaflet, told me to do some exercises and sent me on my way. In the car, realization hit me like a ton of bricks. The waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, the constant ruminating thoughts, the night sweats, the just genuine dissatisfaction and the loss that I felt within was all culminating in stress, and my body was saying it's time to listen. So at that point, I felt that I had 3 options. I either quit, I get help, or I push through. And the sensible person in me now realized that pushing through was not the answer and decided to get help. So I went through therapy, I went through coaching, I had lots of reflection, lots of prayers to really regain my identity, to overcome this feeling of loss. And I can't deny it. That theme that has carried me through life of working hard, going to school, get a good job, it pushed me through. I decided that I must in fact complete this training program. I can't not. And so I pulled and dragged myself across the finishing line. And yes, it was done. I was done. And there is a video on this channel where I detail how joyous it feels to have finished training. But through this, I just slowly and painfully realized that this wasn't where I wanted life to go. That I'd listened to the whispers, I'd listened to the screams, I'd done the work, and I needed to find a way in which that rule that has kept me bound for so many years can be transformed to allow me to truly live the life that I want, that my 7-year-old self wants to live. So I called my parents with joy, tears streaming down my face, telling them that I'd done it. I'd finished, I had completed, I'd worked hard, I'd gone to school, and now it was time to get the good job. And with tears streaming down my face, my mother jubilating in the background, my father looked at me and said, the hard work has just begun. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, after all this, the hard work still has to persevere? I'm not buying it. He said, in times of peace, one must prepare for war. Like, what war? Where is the war? And so I looked at him and I said, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I no longer abide by the rules of which you've encouraged us our whole life. And not to say it's not worked, because it has to an extent, but I'm changing my rules. I'm not going to work hard, go to school, get the good job. I'm going to rest intentionally. I'm going to be curious and I'm going to figure out what is truly next for me. And so I'm at a stage of my life where I don't have a TV mentor to tell me what to do next. My 7-year-old self is still largely quiet, not giving me any answers. And I'm rediscovering, what do I really enjoy? What do I really like? I'm going to find work that feels aligned with my mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to be curious and I'm going to rest intentionally. And I'm inviting you to do the same. Thank you for listening.